For the longest time, I couldn't act on anything unless I got a second opinion from a friend, a colleague, parents, or anybody that was around me, unless they gave me that go ahead, or unless they said, yeah, that's a good idea, you should actually explore it. Or if they went silent, I would definitely not move ahead with that point of action. And a lot of us are suffering from this because we have great ideas, we have beautiful, magical ideas, but because somebody else is not giving us the clarity to say, move ahead, or somebody else is not confirming this dream that we have, then what do? We end up putting it in the bucket list and forgetting about it. But one day I started working with a boss who would not take that. And every time we would be in a meeting and I would try to say, this hasn't happened because of this and this and this, she would always counter and tell me, but you are doing it. You're the one who is doing it. Every time I come here, I find things done. You are the one who is doing it. So why are you saying that you're not able? Why are you saying that things are not working? Why are you saying that you can't manage this situation while you're actually managing it? And what she helped me realize is that I did not lack confidence. What I lacked was clarity. Clarity on the things that I am good at, clarity on where I am excelling, and clarity on the vision that I have for my life. Once I had that, I was able to unstuck myself and start making decisions that were helping me to step out of my fear and overcome it through faith and bold action. If you are in the same space where unless somebody tells you what you're doing is right, or unless you get an approval from people you consider important in your life, you're not willing to take the next step, I want to tell you that you actually do not lack the confidence to do this thing. You lack the clarity to actually believe that you can do it. My name is Jane. Welcome to Make an Impression. My desire really is to help women who are struggling with fear overcome it so that they can authentically live their lives through faith and bold action. So the first thing that is going to help you tackle and help you understand that you're actually not struggling with confidence but clarity is that knowing God does not equate to knowing yourself. Knowing God does not equate to knowing yourself. A lot of us fail because we think that just because we know God, everything else in our lives is just going to align and things are just going to work in our favor. But you need to understand that knowing God is not the same as knowing yourself. Knowing God gives you the direction that you need to take as you're trying to figure out who you are. And the first step to that clarity is really just sitting down with yourself and asking yourself, who am I really? Now that I know God, now that I know the promises that He has set out for me, how do I then apply those in my life? Do I believe in the identity that He gives me as God? Do I believe in what He says I am in His word? And then once you do that, then now you can come to a point where you are clear on who you are, because knowing God should give you the foundation of what should now be the structure that helps you figure out who you are. So you need to understand that it does not end at knowing God. You still need to go ahead, do the work, find out who are you, who is Jane, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, where do I need help, where do I need, somebody to help me so that I can grow in this part where I feel like I'm weak, and then I can continue to build into who I am. So that is the first step towards understanding who you are, because let me tell you, when you understand who you are, you start moving with clarity, you start moving with confidence, and you start understanding who you are, so that you stop second guessing everything that you're doing or having to get an opinion from people who probably are in a state where they still don't believe that what you want to do is possible. So you need to understand who you are, because that will give you the clarity that you need, so that as you start moving forward, you are not searching for confidence. It comes automatically because you know who you are, you know your strengths, you know why you're here, you know why God put you in this world. You believe that everything He says in His word applies in your life. You believe that when He says that you are a chosen generation, that's actually how you walk. When you get that clarity right, I'm telling you, you will believe that you do not lack confidence, but what you lack is clarity. The second mistake that we do is we think that confidence will have to come first so that we can act. But the truth of the matter is we will need to act. The small daily steps and actions that we take is what leads to our confidence. There is no way you can be confident in something that you have not done, redone, until you have become a pro in it. So the thing is, stop waiting to be confident to be able to start that business. Stop waiting to be confident to apply for that job. Stop waiting to be confident to be able to do something that you want to do. What you need to start asking yourself is, what can I do now with what I have that will help me get to where I want to go? Remember, you already have the clarity on who you are. You have the vision of where you want to go. So the only way you can get there is the small daily habits, the small steps that you take now where you are with what you have. What are you doing with it? And how is it helping you to get there? Because that is how your confidence is built. Today you do something, tomorrow you do it better, the next day you learn another way of doing it, the next day you become, you expound your knowledge, and then now you have great ideas of what you're doing. That is how you gain confidence. So stop waiting for confidence to knock at your door. It's not going to do it. You're going to have to put in the work. Start now. Start with what you have. Take those small daily steps that you need to take to be able to get to the other side. And when you get to the other side, you will realize that it's not that you lacked confidence, it's just that you lacked clarity on the steps that you're supposed to take to become the woman that God has called you to be. Another lie we tell ourselves is that if it is God's will, purpose will be easy. The truth of the matter is that purpose is not easy, and it's not automatically made hard so that you don't pursue it. It's only hard because when you're pursuing purpose, there's bits and pieces of yourself that you will need to work on. There's things that are going to be difficult in the process. You're going to have to drop the person that you were 10 years ago, and that's not going to be easy, because as human beings, we thrive in comfort. We thrive in things that are familiar. We thrive in spaces that we feel comfortable because we have grown up like that. But when you start pursuing purpose, I tell you for sure there's going to be difficulties that you're going to come across. But you know what happens? In those difficulties is when you feel like your confidence is being a part of your confidence in a katwa. Why? Because you're experiencing something unfamiliar, but it is in that unfamiliarity that you're actually growing, that your confidence is growing, that you're gaining more clarity into who you're becoming. So when you constantly find yourself in that space where something has become difficult, and because it's become difficult, you're telling yourself, then this must not be God's purpose, because it shouldn't feel like this. It shouldn't feel this hard. It shouldn't feel this stretching. It shouldn't feel this unfamiliar. But the truth is, you need to start asking yourself, what is God teaching me in this season? What is God teaching me in this space that I am in right now? What does God want me to learn in this difficult situation that is going to help me to become the person that I am working hard to become? When you change the mindset, you start viewing it differently, and you start looking at your purpose as something that you will learn and relearn and unlearn until you become good at it. So we need to stop moving in these lies. We need to stop thinking that just because we know God, everything else is going to work out for us. No, that is not how it works. Knowing God gives us the foundation of our identity. And once we have that, then we start gaining clarity on who we are, why we are here, the things that God wants us to do, what we've been called to do. And then once we have that clarity, the daily small steps that we take help us get to that destination. So you understand that you actually do not lack confidence. That's what my boss helped me understand, is that I did not lack confidence. I lacked clarity. And the minute she kept telling me, but you're doing it, Jane. Every time I come here, I find things done. Why are you still stuck in that familiar space where you keep saying you're struggling with this, or you're not doing this, or you're not handling this well? But when I look, nikiangalia kwa ground, you're actually making the effort. You're actually doing the job. So she helped me understand that what I lacked was clarity. Clarity on who I am, clarity on the strength I have, clarity on who God says I am, because that is the foundation and the basis of my identity. And once I got that clear, my vision path has become something that I can look at, something that helps me see the steps that I need to take to be able to go to where I want to go. So I want to encourage you, if you're struggling with fear, if you're struggling with second guessing yourself, if every time you have to ask somebody's opinion before you do something, you need to go back to the drawing board, even now as we are working on our vision boards, and ask yourself, am I clear on the path that I am taking? Am I clear on who I am? Am I clear on the things that I am good at? Am I clear on the career path that I want to take? Am I clear on the actions? Because if I have that clarity, confidence automatically comes, because I know the next step that I need to take, and I know the things that I need to do. So even when it gets shaky and when I feel like my confidence is being attacked, I do not lose track, because what I understand is that this season is teaching me something for the person that I am becoming. That's it for today's conversation. I'm going to link another video here that I talked about confidence, something that you can go and watch. It will help you understand the things that you need to fight or overcome as you're walking in this journey of becoming. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Bye.